Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with a Precinct.
Very cool. Cool.
The Precinct. This looks like an old-school GTA game, but it's entirely the opposite. You'll become a policeman and will have to catch all the criminals that misbehave in your city. The action is set in the past. The year is 1983, and the technologies are accordingly old. That is cool. I like when they go full-on the details. So here you'll dive into a world of thrilling car chases, sandbox crimes, and a healthy dose of noir as you protect the city and solve the mystery of your father's murder in the line of duty. Developers say that this is a love letter to a classic cop movies, you know, like Lethal Weapon for example. And just like in GTA games, the Precinct combines police sim with sandbox experience. Patrol the streets and respond to callouts to fight criminals. It doesn't matter petty or powerful. Choose your own tactics in chases and shootouts and feel the shifting power struggles of town gangs. I don't know, this may be a gem you were looking for, or at least a nice polished rock. Rain World. Here you are a slug cat. The world around you is full of danger and you must face it alone. Separated from your family in a devastating flood, you must hunt for food and shelter between terrifying torrential flows that threaten to drown all life. So you dream about being not a slug cat but a fish cat instead, but here your dreams, just like in real life, never become a reality. You will climb through the ruins of an ancient civilization, evade the jaws of vicious predators, and discover lands teeming with strange creatures and buried mysteries. And of course, find your family before death finds you. And it would be all nice and all, but I can see a Souls-like among the tags of the game. So be assured, we absolutely 100% warranty that death will find you. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not, well, you know what I mean. People on Steam are talking that Rain World has a very steep learning curve, but once you've mastered it, you start to feel unstoppable. Also, about 90% of positive review score is not a joke. The Pale Beyond. You never wanted to lead this expedition, but here you are. Stuck on and in the ice, your captain is missing and you are stranded miles from civilization. Someone has to take charge, and that is you, unfortunately. Because, you know, knowing you now, everyone is certainly doomed. You will have to manage your resources, balance safety and morale, make the hard calls, and head in the only direction you can, through the Pale Beyond. Keeping your crew and your dogs safe, fed and warm during the expedition is mandatory. You know, surviving on the ice will matter little in the face of a mutiny. Every vote will count, so keep the crew, at least the majority of it, on your side. Or you will hang and someone else will take the lead, but that won't be your story anymore. This is a wonderful, story-rich game. I can recommend it for everyone who likes games like that without a doubt. Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. If you ever wanted to know who would win the battle between an army of armored ducks or one Chuck Norris, or between an angry Tyrannosaurus and John Wick, it is your game. Even if the main game lacks some heroes, mods have it all. 10,000 Obamas versus the same amount of ostriches? Sure. A Jedi versus 7 Jesuses? Of course, make it happen. Also keep in mind that the technology here lets you generate hundreds of thousands of units at the same time, without frying your PC, and the requirements are not super high as well, so the game has it all, but that's kinda it. You will be entertained for a day, maybe 2. Although I can say from my own experience, it will immerse you for hours, and your will must be legendary to just stage one epic battle, watch it and go back to work. This ain't gonna happen, so be sure you have plenty of free time before installing. Devilated. As developers say, this is a bastard child of an old-school shooter and action RPGs, after snorting a line of raw, uncut hyper-violence. You'll shoot, slice and strike your way through a mysterious labyrinth, overflowing with bloodthirsty monsters out to tear you apart. You will unleash your style and savagery with a combo meter keeping score. Use the bodies of your enemies as living shields and then devour them for health. Slow down time to land every shot, or to simply appreciate gory poetry in motion, and equip a wide arsenal of everything from blades to rocket launchers, to let the world know that you will crush any opposition or position. Yeah, you don't care, all you want is blood, destruction and potato salad. Ghostlore. So here you'll fight supernatural monsters from Southeast Asian folklore. As developers say, it is inspired by timeless classic action RPGs such as Diablo 2 and Titan Quest. Ghostlore features detailed item and character customization systems, procedurally generated maps and 90s retro graphics. So here you'll have to slay over 40 different kinds of enemies, each with their skills and tactics. Also, Ghostlore allows you to mix and match abilities from 3 out of 6 character classes to create your own unique hero. People are saying that the game is like classic Diablo but Asian, and that is cool, something really refreshing. Solar Ash. Some of you may know the game named Hyper Light Drifter, so Solar Ash is another game from these creators. Here you lose yourself in a high-speed, gravity-bending world. Set in a surreal dreamscape filled with long-abandoned ruins of mysterious civilizations, you will take the role of a Void Runner, determined to stop at nothing to save your planet. You will fight through hordes of creepy creatures, grind rails and grapple to wild heights in attempts to take down enormous bosses. People on Steam are saying that this is a fantastic platformer with unique gameplay and easy-to-learn mechanics. Very positive review score confirms that with ease. High on Life. Here you and a team of charismatic talking guns must answer the hero's call. You will become the deadliest intergalactic bounty hunter the cosmos have ever seen. Game may look like it's oriented to a younger audience, but it's actually the opposite. Drugs, sex, cursing and gore is the very foundation of this game. So here you'll travel to a variety of biomes and locations across the cosmos. Go up against the nefarious evil boss and his gang of goons, collect loot and meet unique characters. You will navigate dynamic and changing worlds that range from a jungle paradise to a city built inside an asteroid. Complete hunter challenges, meet weird, fun and hilarious characters, collect an array of alien technology, and so on. People on Steam are saying that the game is very fun, but a bit too short for its price. It's only about 8 hours long. Luckily, the price now is cut in half, and the game is worth every cent you have. Espresso Tycoon. Here you will build a coffee shop of your dreams, where your customers can relax and drink delicious coffee, and you will feel like a real cafe owner, an empire builder, and create the whole strategy for your success. I always like games like that because they teach us how business works. What do you need to start one in real life, what are the dangers, the downsides, and so on. When you play games like that, you don't have to deal with real people, so you get all the benefits and no pressure. Also, no real money. Oh well. So here you'll spend your time decorating, hiring and managing employees, taking care of the supply chain, analyzing the budget and advertising your coffee shop. The latter is the most important thing, at least in real life, because even the best product won't sell if nobody knows that it is the best. An enormous portion of every business should be allocated to advertising if you want to succeed. I spent 15 years in advertising agencies, so I saw the numbers, believe me. Anyway, the game has very positive reviews, and if you like tycoons like that, you will definitely have a great time managing your own coffee shop. In Other Waters. This is one of the coolest indie games I have stumbled on recently. Story begins when Ellery is called to the planet Gliese, only to arrive at an abandoned base. She finds herself adrift in an ocean of secrets with little more than a malfunctioning diving suit and a strange AI to guide her. And you play not as an Ellery, as you already assumed, but as this AI. How the turns have tabled, huh? So you have to guide Ellery and keep her safe as you dive deeper and explore an underwater alien landscape. The planet's unique life and its dark history are yours to uncover, and the bond between you and Ellery will be tested by the secrets you learn. People are talking that this game floats somewhere between an art project, a work of fiction, and an experiment in minimalist UI design. I absolutely agree, and I will add the fact that this game is awesome, and if you like stuff like that, you should definitely try it out. Time Warpers. This is a first-person action-adventure clicker. You may call it an incremental game. There is always a fun upgrade to look forward to, and the numbers keep getting bigger. You will collect gold, upgrade your weapons and teammates, and even join up with other players in the world as you defeat the enemies and get stronger. If you're wondering what this game is really about, you can play the previous title called The Time Warpers on Steam for free. People on Steam are saying that the game is very addicting, but also mindless, suitable very well for passing boring periods of your life.
So, you mean every minute I live, yeah?
Oh come on, get a hobby. Ryse, Son of Rome. Another game with a ridiculous price tag. Ryse looks like God of War, Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed smashed together, and that is never a bad thing. He will take on a role of a Roman soldier who joins the army to avenge the slaying of your family and then become a hero who must fight to save the Roman Empire itself. Well, we all know that the Roman Empire is no more, so spoilers, you failed, but in the end it doesn't really matter what you did or didn't. All it matters that you had fun by killing hundreds of enemies and did that in satisfying manner. People on Steam are talking that Ryse, Son of Rome is really nice. The game is short, sweet and enjoyable. A very positive review score left by tens of thousands of buyers can confirm that with ease. The Forest Quartet. This is a puzzle adventure about a gone but not forgotten lead singer. You will play as a spirit and travel around the inner worlds unique to the members of your band for a final concert. Face their emotions, solve puzzles and fight the corruption plaguing their souls. To be honest, this is a very odd concept. Why all of the band members, including you, are dead? Some terrorist attack? Car crash? Drugs? Pineapple in their potato salad? We will never know. Well, that is not true. I just never played the game. Maybe it will explain everything for you in the first 2 minutes. Anyway, more than 90% of reviews are positive, so if you like puzzles and calm, relaxing games in general, it seems like a great pick for you. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. This is a real-time strategy game that follows the war between humanity and Legion's synthetic intelligent machine network. And Legion is another AI that emerged after Skynet was erased from existence. You know, the franchise needed an enemy, and to be honest, new enemy is always better than...
Somehow Palpatine returned.
So in the campaign you will take the role of a commander in the Founders, a force made up of the remnants of the US military. You will guide your army in an attempt to mess a little with the Legion's plan to exterminate the last remnants of humanity. So in this near future, both in game timeline and in our real world probably as well, you will have to show that evil ChatGPT who the real boss is. And in skirmish and multiplayer modes you can choose one of 3 very diverse factions: Founders, Movement and Legion itself. You will often use the battlefield to your advantage. Physics-based building demolition lets you generate a realistic set of tactical consequences, especially in urban areas. Your resources here are limited, so every obstacle can serve to your advantage. People who play the game are agreeing that this is a very focused RTS, with challenging tactical mechanics and great storyline. The downside is that Terminator Dark Fate Defiance punishes you for mistakes a bit too harshly, and it is quite buggy. But developers are constantly, at least when I wrote the short review, updating the game and fixing various stuff, so it will only get better. Thief Simulator 2. It is time for you to become a thief. Steal from the rich, commit some burglaries, live the life of your dreams. No matter what others say, always keep in mind that every profession is honorable. Also, before committing to crime full-time, you can also try this game. People are saying that it will seriously teach you a thing or two. Although keep in mind that a thief's trade is not just an easy jog in the park. In order to get some practice, you will start with petty theft. This is how you'll gain the experience required to access more and more risky and, most importantly, more profitable jobs. You will gain levels, unlock new opportunities and get new useful tools. You know, every modern thief must have modern tools from AliExpress. As developers say, it's not only a crowbar and binoculars, but also an advanced equipment that becomes available as you progress, such as a laptop for hacking through security systems. I never knew that special laptops for hacking existed, but well, who am I to disagree? People on Steam are saying that this game will tickle your adrenal glands, so maybe don't drink too much coffee before playing. Chants of Sennaar. The review score on Steam of this game is something out of a fairy tale. 98% of positive reviews is not something you see every day. So this adventure puzzle game has a wonderful story. Divided since the dawn of time, the peoples of the tower no longer speak to each other, just like you and your neighbor who dislikes potato salad. But it is said that one day a traveler will find the wisdom to break down the walls and restore the balance. And it's you, obviously. So probably all these people are already doomed. No offense. He'll explore and discover an enchanting world in a colorful poetic setting inspired by the myth of Babel, where men have forgotten their past. You will travel the endless steps of a prodigious labyrinth, uncover ominous secrets and unveil the mysteries of this fascinating universe where ancient languages are both the lock and the key. People are saying that this game has really fun puzzles, beautiful soundtrack and a really interesting, captivating story. Star Renegades. This is a tactical RPG strategy game in which you command members of a rebellion fighting an evil empire. The game focuses on missions which usually consist of battles with intelligent and constantly evolving opponents. Quests are randomly generated, which in combination with the constantly evolving enemies makes the game a little different each time you play. It gets more challenging and death is something inevitable. The members of your team form friendships and even deeper relations which can result in a child. He or she will join your ranks as another unique character. So you can literally breed more heroes here. Breed. Yeah, that's the right word. Ancestors' Legacy. This is a real-time strategy game influenced by historical events of the Middle Ages. Ancestors' Legacy combines resource management and base building with large-scale squad-based battles across vast battlefields. It is all rendered in great detail with Unreal Engine 4. You will experience medieval bloodshed and can enjoy a cinematic action camera that puts you right in the middle of the battle. People on Steam are saying that Ancestors' Legacy is easy to learn and it's like chess. It involves a lot of strategy, so the more you play, the better you become. Basically, here a lot of options to crush the enemy lie in the plain sight, but only the master strategist can see them all. So the more you play, the easier the game will seem. Or not, you know, we all have our limits and sometimes our limit is below the requirements of a victory. Far Cry 5. Here you will spill rivers of blood and your victims will drown in their own liquids because you are awesome and they suck. Your task is to stand up to cult leader Joseph Seed and his siblings to spark the fires of resistance and liberate the besieged community. In other words, you will have to get rid of fanatics without any political correctness. You can play alone or in two-player co-op in this vast open world. Use a huge arsenal of weapons from rocket launchers to shovels and take control of iconic muscle cars, ATVs, planes and more to engage the cult forces in epic fights. The bad thing is, as always, Ubisoft launcher with all the DRM problems, so it seems like the company treats you like a thief in advance. And paradoxically, you know where you could find the game without DRM? On various pirate sites. They removed it. 5 Nations. If StarCraft was mockingly called a Warcraft in space, then 5 Nations should be called a Warcraft in space, because it is following the same gameplay formula as Blizzard games, but everything is happening, you know, in space. But don't worry, this is not some grand strategy game or something like a homeworld where the distances are huge and everything is happening super slow. No, in 5 Nations the background is space, but all the action is the same as an old good base builder RTSs. The game gets little attention because it's an indie game and they have no money to make a huge advertising campaigns. I found it just because I was especially looking for games like StarCraft, and it still took me an hour to get to this game. But now it may become a bit more popular because other YouTubers tend to copy my lists. Great thing is that you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free and check it out with your own eyes. Although it's not easy to see where to download it. Look in the right column above information about languages and you will see the download button. 5 Nations managed to stay true to old school gameplay, voiceovers and even writing style, and that is great. Alfred Hitchcock, Vertigo. It's really hard to say anything about this game and keep my short review spoilers free, but I will try my best. So here you are a person and you do things in the world, and there are adventures and dialogues, and things happen. There, a true spoiler-free review. I'm just kidding. Anyway, jokes aside, this is an original story about obsession, manipulation and madness, inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece Vertigo. You will experience a powerful narrative paying tribute to the visual and storytelling techniques of the thriller genre. You will investigate what happened through the vision of 3 characters. Everyone has a different story to tell, and in the end all the pieces will come together solving a terrible mystery. Along the way, you will explore several timelines to cross-check the events and separate reality from deceptive memories. You know, reality is sometimes worse than madness. Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. An old and unspeakable evil stirs in the north, wings black as death, fangs sharp as steel, and the thirst for blood rivaled only by their insatiable hunger for vengeance. Yeah, that is a new ultimate enemy of your kingdom. As people say, this game is inspired by Game of Thrones, The Elden Ring, and The Witcher. Despite it being a 2D side-scroller, the feeling is actually there, especially because everything is narrated by Doug Cockle, legendary actor that lent his voice to Geralt of Rivia Rivia himself, so he will have to track down and defeat legendary monsters of this realm and be rewarded with rare resources and craft devastating equipment. But be warned, these colossal creatures won't go down without a fight. You will die over and over and over again, so make sure you like suffering. It's not for people with weak nerves, that's for sure. Dome Keeper. Dome Keeper has about 90% of positive reviews, so it is obviously a hidden gem you may want to try. Well, a nice polished rock at least. This is a roguelike survival miner where you will defend your dome from wave after wave of monsters. You will use the time between each attack to dig beneath the surface and search of valuable resources and artifacts, and use them carefully to choose powerful upgrades and bonuses. People on Steam are talking that the game is very polished, rich and imaginative. It's all you need for your free time. Well, this and potato salad. Planet Coaster. Here you'll build and design roller coaster parks with attention to detail and manage your park in a truly living world. This game makes a designer out of everyone. Well, a really bad designer out of most of us, to be fair, but hey, that still counts. You will lay paths, build scenery, customize rides and make everything in your park unique with piece-by-piece construction. You will have over 1,000 unique building components at your disposal. And not only the rides need your attention here, you will play with nature and reshape the land beneath your feet, sculpt the landscape to raise mountains, form lakes, dig caverns and even build islands in the sky. Then weave coasters through your park above the ground and below. People are saying that this game is even worth the full price without a doubt. It has everything you may need for your evenings to be more fun, so this is a deal you probably shouldn't ignore. Forgive Me Father 2. This is not just a boomer shooter, this is a Lovecraftian boomer shooter. After the financial success of the first part, which was absolutely amazing, they made another, probably even better game. You'll journey once again into a malevolent world inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's legends, where madness awaits on every corner. You will embark on a dangerous mission as you continue the story of the character from the first game. Although you don't have to play the first part to enjoy the second. It's a shooter, not a visual novel, it's an absolutely standalone title. The game is very beautiful, retro modernistic, with dark, comic-like art and gloomy, menacing atmosphere. And oh, monsters you kill often turn into a bloody mist of organs and bones, and that is a very satisfying thing to experience. Batman, the Telltale series. Here you'll make discoveries that will shatter Bruce Wayne's world and the already fragile stability of a corrupt Gotham City. Also, your choices will determine the fate of the Batman. Just like in Telltale's The Walking Dead series, here you can choose your own adventure and dive deep into this cool visual novel. The game includes 5 episodes, and as people on Steam are saying, this is a great adaptation with interesting characters of the Batman franchise. Voice acting is nice, the script is engaging, and if you like games like that, it's almost a must-play. You know, seriously, there aren't many great visual novels you can play, especially not on this level. One nitpicky thing that may discourage you is that if you choose a non-violent path, the game will probably fail to react accordingly in several situations, so just beat everyone and enjoy the story. Traveler's Rest. This is a tavern management game where you can brew your own beer, run a farm and build relationships. You are an innkeeper on a journey to transform a rundown tavern into a bustling social space. Based in a cheerful fantasy setting, Traveler's Rest is a place to meet people, explore new places and uncover ancient magic. Along your journey you'll discover new things to brew, farm, cook and build to create your perfect fantasy tavern. The game is still in early access but has more than 90% of positive reviews. People on Steam are saying that this game is awesome, and if you like titles like Stardew Valley, it's a must-play. Also, you can smack angry customers away with your mop. Warhammer 40k Boltgun. Here, without any hesitation, load up your gun and plunge into battle. You'll experience a perfect blend of Warhammer FPS gameplay and the stylish visuals of your favorite 90s retro shooters. You will play a battle-hardened Space Marine on a perilous mission across the galaxy as you fight against the Chaos Space Marines and demons. This boomer shooter style, well known from the games like Classic Doom, Duke Nukem or Heretic, is a real treat for older dudes like me, and also for a younger generation who wants to experience glory and feel like a true combat god, or goddess, or something in between. Whatever you are, you will rock this. People on Steam are saying that the game doesn't offer a lot of replayability, but the level of entertainment it provides is massive. Although, not as massive as your mama. Saturnalia. This is a game you probably never heard about before. A third-person, artistic horror adventure where you play as 4 characters, experiencing a storyline tied to the haunting traditions of an ancient village in Sardinia, Italy. Well, for me, North and Eastern European, Sardinia associates only with sun, wine, cold beer, pizza and friendly locals. But in this game I doubt you will find any of those. The village itself is a maze with no 2 parts being precisely the same. You will have to explore and solve the mysteries alone. The game will not guide you by your hand or penis. If you die, well, let's be honest, when you die, the village will reconfigure itself into a new form. You will solve puzzles and open shortcuts to new areas with various tools and items you find along the way. Your goal is to unravel the story and put a stop to a creepy ritual at the heart of the game. Sounds fun, and the price is more than nice. Urtuk, the Desolation. This is a dark fantasy tactical turn-based RPG. Here you'll guide your band of adventurers through the ruins of an ancient world in order to, bring your own order and punish the rest. You will recruit new followers, loot the corpses of your fallen foes, and do the best to survive in this harsh and unforgiving realm. Here you'll find a procedurally generated survival campaign, will extract upgrades directly from your fallen enemies and enjoy detailed hand-drawn characters. At the moment of writing this overview, the game had 90% of positive reviews on Steam, so in my opinion, incredibly high score. People are talking that Urtuk has a very nice variety of units, entertaining synergies, and is light on the story in a good way. COCOON. This wonderful game is made by the same designer who developed legendary Limbo and Inside, so that should grab your attention. Also the fact that the game is a proud owner of more than 90% of positive review score on Steam. This is a unique take on the puzzle adventure genre where each world exists within an orb that you can carry on your back. Here you'll have to wrap your head around the core mechanic of leaping between worlds and combine, manipulate and rearrange them to solve intricate puzzles. You will interact with alien environments and biomechanical devices left behind by an ancient civilization, journey through unique and diverse biomes, from industrial structures to massive organic caverns. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, that's gross. Anyway, you will have to discover how these worlds and environments are connected to one another. People who played it are praising the game and saying that it will bend you over, at least your mind. Friends vs. Friends. Despite the childish looks, the game offers immensely fun gameplay. Friends vs. Friends is an online PvP shooter that combines combat and deck building. Honestly, really unique and fun combination. It's like you and your mother-in-law, or cucumbers with honey. Sounds weird, but it's really delicious. So here you'll have to choose your character, customize your card-based loadout, and get ready for the fights of your life. Or more like for the fights of your death. Because the game is filled with great players and with balding dudes still living in their parents' basement. Never underestimate their power. Here you can play 1 vs 1 or 2 vs 2. Gain levels, get new cards, improve the ones you already have, and get to know an array of eclectic characters with their own unique passive skills. People are saying that this is a great fast-paced game, but it will infuriate you way more than you expect. What remains of Edith Finch? Overwhelmingly positive review score should grab your attention. 17-year-old Edith Finch is the last surviving member of the eccentric Finch family. All of her closest relatives and family have died violently at a young age, leading to rumors about a family curse. Now she's on her way to her Finch mansion, a bizarre ramshackle building hidden deep within the forests of the state of Washington. Once there, she intends to research her family's history and learn the truth behind the alleged curse. While this can sound like a horror game, it's actually just a tale about one family that is more interesting than your family, or mine. People are saying that this is more than just a game, it is a unique form of art. Bad North. Game is set in Nordic realm invaded by Vikings. However, the realm's prince and princess managed to escape and now can gather an army to fight the invaders.
Haha, in your face, stupid invaders.
Yeah, learn to invade or something. The gameplay takes place on small procedurally generated islands. During the game you gather resources and find allies who help you fight your enemies. Your army can feature various units, such as archers, knights and pikemen. Before buying, you can try the demo version on Steam for free. The Expanse, a Telltale series. If you like science fiction but never watched the Expanse TV show, well, you should. These are one of the best sci-fi series ever made. Although at first you may be overwhelmed by the count of the characters and political intrigues, don't give up. The show really delivers if you stick to it. And this is Telltale's take on this wonderful world and story. Here you'll explore the dangerous and uncharted edges of the belt. From scavenging wrecked ships in zero-G environment to surviving a mutiny or fighting fearsome pirates, you will have to make difficult choices and then suffer the consequences. You will scour shipwrecks, use magnetic boots to walk on walls and ceilings, and utilize zero-G thrusters to flow through the void. As you explore mysterious ships and the open expanse of space, you will interact with objects in the world and speak with members of your crew. The game consists of 5 episodes, so plenty of mind food for you. The Wolf Among Us. This is a gritty, violent and mature thriller based on the award-winning Fables comic books. You'll discover that a brutal, bloody murder is just a beginning where every decision can have enormous consequences. And it's not only what you choose to do will affect your story, but when you choose to do it as well. You don't need to know anything about the comics this game is based on, because events in this story are set before the events seen in the first book, and this game gives you an option to beat up practically anyone you don't like. Sadly, you can't import that energy-sucking coworker of yours in this game, but hey, you can beat him up in real life instead. I mean, if you are stronger than him. If not, just smile and blame your genes. Cultist Simulator. This is a tabletop game, but, you know, it's on Steam, so you won't have to do any calculations in your head, everything will be done for you, and that's great. This is a game of apocalypse and yearning from the creator of Fallen London and Sunless Sea. You will play as a seeker after unholy mysteries in a 1920s themed setting of hidden gods and secret histories. Perhaps you're looking for knowledge or power, or beauty or revenge. Perhaps you just want the colors beneath the skin of the world. Colors out of space? Maybe. It's a very Lovecraftian game after all. So in this roguelite narrative card game, what you find may transform you forever. Every choice you make from the moment to moment doesn't just advance the narrative, it also shapes it. Become a scholar of the unseen arts, search your dreams for sanity-twisting rituals, craft tools and summon spirits, indoctrinate innocence, seize your place as the herald of a new age, ban the pineapples in the potato salad. Well, you get the point. Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. If the legends are to be believed, an ancient artifact lies buried in the lost land of Atlantis that has the power to change the course of history. By the legends, this artifact had power that was once responsible for both the rise and fall of legendary Atlantis, and you'll have to find it. So this is an adaptation of Jules Verne novel, but it doesn't follow the book step by step. You know, the trick is that you are Jules Verne himself here. Yeah, don't ask. The game itself, of course, is more like a walking simulator than a real adventure game, but some of the puzzles will try to mess with your brain. I think it is a nice hidden gem you should definitely try.
And now thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.